Welcome back to the Takeout. Thanks for hanging out with me. Welcome to the Conversation Corner. As you know, it's no secret the Republican Party has been recently winning with blue-collar voters, notably union members. New piece from the New York Times says union leaders now are fighting for and with the Democratic Party leadership to, quote, appeal more to their rank and file. The president of the International Union of Painters and Allied Trades, Jimmy Williams, told the New York Times he hadn't, quote, heard a coherent message that is enough for me to feel confident that the Democratic Party truly understands the pain that working people are feeling. I'm happy to welcome to our Conversation Corner Jimmy Williams. It's great to have you here, sir.
Thanks for having me, Major.
Is this a messaging problem or is it a cultural divide problem for Democrats at the national level and your membership?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say it's an all of the above problem when it comes to connecting with our membership and really understanding that our membership is no different than the rest of the working class in this country, right? Our membership's suffering in this economy. And currently and in previous economies, right? And have been now for decades. And I think the Democratic Party over the course of at least my lifetime, I'm 47 years old, have struggled connecting the dots between the economy and the personal issues that our membership have, trying to survive in it. And the messaging certainly is wrong and has been for quite some time, but so has been the policy and what has been pushed and actually enacted to help working people.
So the first time I encountered this, Jimmy, this will come as no surprise to you. When I was in Ohio in 1993 and 1994 after NAFTA.
NAFTA. It started then.
Under a Democratic president.
Absolutely. And then you take it all the way through to the recession in 2008. President Barack Obama had an opportunity to really deliver for working people in the form of, trying to help out. Working people have a better right to organize, collectively bargain, but instead we bailed out the banks. And when you think about it, corporate America has had it both ways now for at least the last 30, 40 years, and that's my entire adult lifetime.
So when President Biden walked a picket line, the first president to do so, it was thought by the Biden White House as this flex, this muscularity pro-union, and it would resonate. Did it?
I mean, it's fair to say President Joe Biden was 100% the most pro-union president of my lifetime. The problem is Joe Biden wasn't on the ballot.
Yeah.
Joe Biden did deliver for union members and for working people. And look at what the Democratic Party did to Joe Biden.
So do you think that had a residual effect on shifting your rank and file members in another direction?
It certainly made it more difficult to be able to, because our membership is no different than, like I said, the rest of the working class. And what I seen personally in Chicago at the Democratic National Convention was the minute Joe Biden left the stage, you didn't hear one more word about labor unions. You've seen a whole different message emerge from the Democratic Party.
Is this Trump administration, with its hostility to the National Labor Relations Board, its infatuation, I think it's a word they would even embrace, with deregulation, pro-union?
No, this administration has been the most anti-union administration, and it runs in complete contrast to what President Biden did. But the problem is working people are stuck in the middle right now, and they're looking for an advocate. They're looking for a real, true champion, and they can't find one in the Democratic Party right now.
Right, but many of your members still think if it's a coin flip, they're going to go with Trump, right?
And that's what happened in the last election in some regards, because they're willing to blow it up.
And how does that conversation go?
I'll tell you, the conversations have been extremely enlightening when we talk to our members, because we've been talking to our members ever since Election Day ended, to really feel from them what happened, right? And they'll tell you, they would prefer to blow up the entire system right now, roll the dice, because they felt...
Knock over the desk.
Knock it over. Start over. And the Democratic Party's got to realize that. Number one, way too much corporate money flowing into the party. You can't serve two masters. You cannot serve the working class and serve the corporate class at the same time. And they've been trying to do that now since the early 90s and with NAFTA. And our membership sees it and feels it. And they're willing to throw caution to the wind.
Is there a Democrat out there in any direction who's even close?
I mean, at this point, I think it's a message for the party to figure out, as opposed to the candidates and the actual personalities. I think far too often the Democratic Party is focused on personalities, people that can win elections, not the message, and not how to connect to working people's real pain. Because listen, if the party itself had a little more discipline around the things that affect working people the most, their wages, their benefits.
You would already know the message.
Exactly. And it wouldn't matter who the messenger was.
I've heard that before in politics. You got to know what you're about before you try to explain it.
Exactly.
Jimmy, I appreciate the time. Thank
you so much.
Thanks for coming in.
Yep.